The following program is being brought to you on the Voice America Women's Channel. For more information about our network and to check out additional show hosts and topics of interest, please visit voiceamericawomen.com. The Voice America Talk Radio Network is the worldwide leader in live Internet talk radio. Visit voiceamerica.com. The views and ideas expressed on the following program are strictly those of the host or guests and do not necessarily reflect the views and ideas held by the Voice America Talk Radio Network, its staff, and management.
Welcome to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with Rebecca Hall Gruyter. In our program each week, we provide the tools, ideas, and encouragement to help you move ahead on your journey, becoming a more powerful and impactful woman in your own life. Now here's your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter.
Welcome to the show, everyone. I hope that you're having an amazing week. And I love October. It's just such a great opportunity to really reflect back on the year, kind of look back and see what our experience has been, and then look forward as we look into this fourth quarter and the beginning of 2017. And I find it's a great opportunity to pause, breathe deeply, and really look at some of those goals that you set way back in the beginning of the year and just check in. Not with judgment or criticism, but really, how am I doing in these areas? Am I where I expected to be? Am I ahead of schedule? Am I a little bit behind? Have I had any movement in these areas? Because guess what? We're only in October. You still have time to step forward in those areas that were laid upon your heart that you're really wanting to move forward in. And we're going to be talking about some key areas around success today. And success in how you're defining it, not my definition, not any of my guest experts' definitions, but really what's important to you, how you're defining success, what you're wanting to achieve in your life. And I found from years and years, I had years and years of experience in the planning arena, in the financial arena. And I found it was so much easier for the clients I worked with, the companies I worked with, and for myself if I had a plan. And really having a plan of where I wanted to go, what I wanted to achieve, where I wanted to be personally, professionally, made a profound difference. Because if I knew where I wanted to go, then I could take a quick look at where I'm at. That's what we're doing today, checking in, looking, seeing where I'm at and relative to those things that I want to achieve. And now I have 2 points, where I'm at, where I want to go, and then I can build the steps to get there or get support in building the steps to get there. And it's important in that process that we periodically stop and look. One of the downfalls I found that people could have in the planning arena is I would spend all this time setting up this beautiful plan and strategy, and we're going to go all these places. And then the months would go by and they would never open it again, or it would end up on the shelf and not really being used in their life. And they had some success, but not as much in achieving where their goals and what they were wanting to have in their life as those people who periodically cracked it open and took a look and just checked in. Where am I relative to where I was and to where I want to go? Are there any course corrections or shifts that I need to make to achieve what it is that I want to achieve? And to me, this is where you start to tap into your formula for success. It's really looking at where are you wanting to go, where are you at now, and let's build the plan to get there. But here's the secret sauce. I want to make sure I'm visualizing all of you leaning in. It's playing your way. This means discovering your strengths and your talents and your abilities and the unique way in which you're made. And when you're building those steps to get where you want to go, build them in the way that you're made, honoring how you're made, honoring your strengths. You'll find those steps are easier than trying to do it someone else's way or someone else's strengths. Really leaning in to how you're made to go where you want to go. because no one else can touch the world in the way that you're made, in the way that you're gifted, and you're absolutely needed out in the world. So in October, we're taking a moment to lean in together. Our experts are going to help us tap into this on an even deeper level and help us unmask your formula for success, your success formula, so that as you go back forth out into the world, you're able to tap into it powerfully, with excitement, with enthusiasm, as you go forth and making 2016 really powerful and already in motion as you're stepping into 2017 and beyond. So let's breathe that in. That's exciting. Beautiful. But I want you to get the most out of the time together today. And to do that, I want to help you be really focused and really present. It's so easy to get pulled different directions in our life and to feel that we're being pulled. Even though we're here in body, we're not really present. So let's take a moment to be fully present. That's how you get the most out of this time together, is being here, really being open, ready to receive, because I believe there is something here for you today, or you wouldn't have leaned in. You wouldn't have been drawn to this show this time today. So let us support you powerfully. Those of you who are driving, please stay safe. Keep both hands on the wheels. No texting and driving. We want you alert, just inwardly tuning in and leaning in. Those of you who are able to, though, I invite you to sit back in your seat. Take a big belly breath. Breathing in through the nose. Out through the mouth like a straw. And close your eyes. Go ahead and put one hand on your heart, one hand on your head. Continuing that deep belly breathing. And with your hand on your heart, hand on your head, bringing all of you in. Mind, body, soul, and spirit. And in this space, what is it that you need today? What is it that will empower you, equip you, encourage you to step into your success, to step forward purposely and powerfully as you go forth out into the world? What is it that you need today? Just receive that information. Sometimes it's a picture, a phrase, a memory, a sound, all different types of way information is communicated with us. Receive that information. Come back into the room, fully present, eyes open, and I invite you to write that information down, really keeping it top of mind. When we know what it is we're looking for, what it is we need, just like having a plan, it's a lot easier to recognize it and to say yes and lean into what it is we need. And it really takes that pausing and leaning in. And I want you actively on the lookout for what it is you need today, real time, to support you, listening in to what we share with you today, being open to receiving the answer and the information, whether it's on our time together, our call, or it could be as you go forth out in the world. Be ready to receive, anticipating, looking for whatever it is you need to encourage and support you on your journey. Beautiful. And I'm going to go around our virtual room to our guest experts and invite them each to share just about a 30-second share, anything that was placed on their heart as we went into that time of listening and connection. So, Leslie, do you mind sharing anything that was laid upon your heart?
Oh, thank you so much for asking, Rebecca. You know, I've had some challenges in my life recently, and I've actually been feeling a little sorry for myself. And I realized in the reflection about how grateful I am for everything that I have. And that, yeah, I mean, we all have challenges, right? And you know what? You get through it, and you come out a better person at the end. And so I'm just really grateful for everything that's happened and for everything that I have, for all the people I have in my life, and I just feel so fortunate.
Oh, beautiful. I breathe that in with you, being grateful and fortunate. And what a shift from what you were kind of feeling before. I love that. Yeah, thank you for sharing. Beautiful. And Amanda, how about you? Did you have something laid upon your heart as we went in and paused and listened for a moment?
Thank you, Rebecca. I've been doing a lot of inner child work and really loving the unsure, insecure part of me that started very young, and I just felt a lot of tenderness and a lot of like a warm embrace and acceptance and compassion and an expansion and opening in my heart.
I love that. Thank you for sharing. You're right. That work can be so powerful, but there's a tenderness that goes with it, and that expansion and acceptance is so beautiful. Thank you for sharing. So I'm just taking a breath, connecting all of us heart to heart. And listeners, I'd love for you to think about what was laid on your heart. Sometimes it can surprise us. It can be a little different than what we thought it would be when we went in. I know for myself, it's this huge, I just felt very connected and grateful. Those were the things that came to my heart, just feeling very grateful to be connected with all of you and to have had the journey, the ups and the downs, and the ups and the downs, in life, that there's just a gratefulness for the journey that has led us to be together today. And I'm profoundly grateful. And I would love for you, as you go into our first commercial break, to treat this time for you as a sacred time for you. As we have these 2-minute moments throughout the show, really lean in and listen, breathe, carve that time out for you. Don't run off and try to cut things, cross things off your list. Instead, stay very present and give yourself the gift of those 2 minutes to really sink into what's being laid upon your heart. So as we're going into our first commercial break, I invite you to listen a little bit more and just see what's being laid on your heart, what you're leaning into, what you're willing to receive, and what you're anticipating stepping into and accepting and receiving. And we'll look forward to talking to you in just a moment.
Voice America Women. Your passion starts here.
Are you ready for your rush of success? I'm Jim T. Chong, the walk star.
And I'm Cammie Ferry, the theater queen, the host of Rush Hour for Success on Money 105.5 on Thursdays and Fridays at 2 p.m. It's about getting entertained and getting solutions for your success in life and business.
Visit us on Facebook at Money 105.5 FM Rush Hour for Success, or download the Money 105.5 app on your phone for the live stream. That's Thursdays and Fridays, 2 p.m. Pacific time. Get entertained,
get educated, and get your rush on
Rush Hour for Success.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at SpeakerTalentSearch.com. That's SpeakerTalentSearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit EmpoweredConnectionsTV.com. That's EmpoweredConnectionsTV.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
Become our friend on Facebook. Post your thoughts about our shows and network on our timeline. Visit Facebook.com/Voice America.
listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-866-613-1612. That's 1-866-613-1612. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope that you took those 2 minutes just for you to really sink in and pause and listen and explore your definition of success and what does that mean and where are you wanting to go. We're going to have a really rich, beautiful conversation with you to really support you on our journey and to explore some of these subjects. And you'll have these 2-minute moments throughout the show where I invite you to lean in, breathe deeply, and process real time the information that's being shared. And this way, when you go back out into the world, you've had some equipping and empowering that's taken place so you can go forward with even more purpose and moving forward powerfully. Not getting ready to get ready or getting ready to process, but really with intention and purpose. Now, that is the vision I'm holding for us today. Our first guest expert is an amazing woman, Amanda Johnsen. You got to hear a little bit of her heart in our opening segment, but I wanted to share just a snapshot, just a few pieces of her more formal bio so you know a little bit more about her. So she is an international speaker that has visited over 20 countries, assisting and empowering and equipping people, particularly around success and moving forward and what they're looking to achieve. She's an author, a teacher, has a background in counseling psychology, expressive arts therapy, and integrated medicine. She is an ordained priestess and shamanic healer. She is passionate about helping men and women break through. Please lean in and warmly welcome the amazing Amanda Johnsen to the show. Welcome!
Thank you, Rebecca. It's so great to be here. I really appreciate your invitation.
You are very welcome. We are excited to have you joining us. Heart to heart. Exactly. And I love to start in that heart place where we really look at, why? Why are you personally so passionate about helping men and women break through? Why is that important work to you?
Rebecca, it's because I've been in the place of pretty much all of my clients, which is knowing deep down that you have a gift that your soul just longs to share and longs to feel valued, and that we're making a difference in the world. And I also know exactly what it feels like to work really, really hard and do everything that you think you're supposed to be doing, all the webinars and teleseminars and coaching and conferences tell you to do, and feel like it's just going into deaf ears and it's not being received, and it's heartbreaking. So I know how important it is to get our messages out there, get our gifts out there, because we're not only bringing our own gifts to make the world a better place, but then it also, we're happier people.
And that has a higher vibration, I find, and people are attracted to people naturally that are in that place and have that knowing I'm bringing what I'm called to bring to the world. There's a powerful attraction I find in that, and clarity.
Absolutely.
Oh, beautiful. Thank you for sharing. And I could just feel your heart as you shared that you know what it's like. And to me, you do. You know what it's like to not, and you know what it's like to do. And you help people on that journey to make those connections. So really beautiful. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
Now, I know we're going to be talking a lot about success in our conversation here today, and I thought before we get too far down that path, it'd be great to be on the same page. So when we're talking about success with our listeners, how do you help people figure out what their definition of success is, or how do you define that? I just want to make sure when we say the word success, we're all on the same page.
Yeah. It's one of those things that we all definitely, when we hear that word, there's something that pops in, right? And yet it's very different. And for me, success is not just money in the bank. And it's sad for me that it gets the most or sometimes the only focus when we think about success for me and for my clients, because they come to me because we share a lot of the same values and they want what I have, and that I can share with them how to get there. So collectively, for me and my clients and the people who like to work with me, we define success as having a good quality life. So having time for self-care, for plenty of rest, for plenty of sleep, for that personal practice, whether it's meditation or time in nature or prayer or dancing or all of the above, that's a daily part of life. Having the time and the bandwidth, the energy to be there for our loved ones and to cultivate rich, meaningful relationships. For many of my clients, they're very community oriented, either through church or just through their neighborhoods, and which I think is the kind of the good old-fashioned thing that really makes America great, and we're losing a lot of it, which is just like your neighbor, who are your neighbors, and like their friends or people you can talk to, and so and having good health and basically enjoying life, and it can be filled in with whatever pieces, but to not lose sight. I know that there are many friends and a couple of people in my family who make great money. They are super wealthy and they can afford anything, and I would never trade places with them because it's always stressed out and don't have time for themselves, don't have time for So for me, what's the point? So it's primarily enjoying your life and enjoying your relationships and having a lot of love, and then as well, we want the money too, because that's a freedom and that's a way of enjoying life too.
Wonderful. Listeners, I want you to take a moment and just pause. And this is the activity I'm going to encourage you to do during the break, because our time just goes so quickly here. I want you to really think about is quality of life and how is that resonating. If you haven't thought about success encompassing more than money, and that's been a bit of a deterrent for you to lean in and build those plans, I love this expanded way that we can look at it. And I encourage you to really look at your definition of success and what you're wanting to bring forward and what that quality of life looks like and feels like. So beautiful. Thank you. And we are moving along quickly here, Amanda, and I just wanted to give people a taste of you. Do you mind sharing in about a minute and a half, how people can move into success? How do you help them do that? Even when blocks or things come up, how do you help people do that?
Yeah, thank you. Well, I wrote a book about it called Unlock Your Success Code, and it's based on a system that I created called Subconscious Success Repatterning, and it's based on over 30 years of research in the subconscious mind and how we tap into our infinite potential and create miracles, which we all know happen, but also what are the things on the subconscious level stuck in survival mode that keep us from that miraculous divine presence and capability that we were born with. And so it's a system that I take people through. I teach them, I not only take them through it, but I teach them how to use it for themselves so they can apply it to other parts of their life. And basically it's going in through deep imaginal realms into accessing the subconscious and creating a dialogue with those parts of the self so that we get to understand them and then we get to rewrite them so that they're success programmed instead of survival programmed.
I love that. I'm going to underline that you help them with the process, and then you teach them the process so they can develop their own success plan, not just survival. I love that. Beautiful share. Thank you. And that we're being given that ability. And I know that you've put together an amazing gift to support our listeners today. Do you mind sharing about that in just about 60 seconds so that I can let them know how to access your amazing gift?
I would love to. And just to let our audience know, I go by Amanda Elo'esh, which is my middle name because Johnsen blends in with everybody else. So, this is a 60-minute Breakthrough to Success discovery session where we look at what the subconscious blocks are that are keeping you from your goals. We look at what's possible that you might not have even allowed yourself to comprehend, and it's a full assessment of where you want to be and how to get there so that you go away with clarity on what your next steps are, so it's really easy and spelled out.
Wonderful. Thank you for sharing and making yourself personally available like that. I appreciate it.
And my favorite thing on the planet.
I love it. I know that personal connection and really helping people is just an amazing, amazing opportunity like that. So thank you for sharing and making that available. Listeners, as we go into our next 2-minute moment, I encourage you to think about your definition of success, what it is that you're wanting to lean into, that you're wanting support in, and really think about, will this offer from Amanda really spending some time with me support me in moving forward? And just sit with those questions for 2 minutes, see what wisdom and information comes in. And towards the end of the show, I'll let you know how to access her amazing gift. So you want to make sure to stay tuned. We'll look forward to talking to you in just a moment.
This is the Voice America Women's Channel, where your success is limitless.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at SpeakerTalentSearch.com. That's SpeakerTalentSearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
Relationship issues? Anxious? Parenting challenges? No more. Learn to live your best life. Tune into Straight Talk with top therapist, relationship, and anxiety expert Sandra Reish. Learn to transform your challenges into effective solutions. Whether it's relationships, parenting, anxiety, or other traps, Sandra will show you how you can live the life of your dreams. Listen live every Thursday afternoon at 6 p.m. Eastern Time and 3 p.m. Pacific Time on the Voice America Health and Wellness Channel.
Are you ready for your rush of success? I'm Jim T. Chong, the Walk Star.
And I'm Cammie Ferry, the Theater Queen, the host of Rush Hour for Success on Money 105.5 on Thursdays and Fridays at 2 p.m. It's about getting entertained and getting solutions for your success in life and business.
Visit us on Facebook at Money 105.5 FM Rush Hour for Success, or download the Money 105.5 app on your phone for the live stream. That's Thursdays and Fridays, 2 p.m. Pacific Time. Get entertained,
get educated, and get your rush on
Rush Hour for Success.
Tune in for Suzanne Ross and Lighten Up TV, evolutionary wellness for the body, mind, and spirit. Each episode features Suzanne and her amazing guests, including inspirational authors, speakers, wellness experts, and spiritual guides. This series is focused on achieving total well-being so that you can live well and love life. Visit lightenuptv.net to find out more. Lighten Up TV is presented by the Awakening Center, a nonprofit for those seeking a higher way of living and being. Don't miss out on living your best life now. Go to lightenuptv.net today.
Follow us on Twitter at VoiceAmericaTRN. Get the lowdown on guests, new shows, and your favorites. That's VoiceAmericaTRN. You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-866-613-1612. That's 1-866-613-1612. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to empowering women, transforming lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope that you took those 2 minutes just for you. You will have another opportunity to do that as well. But it's such a rich experience to be able to use real-time opportunities like this to be able to integrate and process what's being shared. So I very much encourage you to build that practice in. And guess what? You can take that practice powerfully with you. I have found when I remember to take a moment, even a minute, 2 minutes to pause and breathe, especially when the day is running me. In those 2 minutes, I can shift my perspective, I can shift my focus, find clarity, and move forward with more purpose and in a more calmer way. So I invite you to build the practice and use those 2 minutes whenever you have an opportunity, or build them into your life so that you have that opportunity to keep going, pausing, and building what matters most to you. Beautiful. Let's breathe that in. Wonderful. So I'm going to introduce our next guest expert to you. You got to hear a little bit of her heart in the opening segment and the echoing of gratefulness that she just really felt deeply when we paused and listened. And Leslie is a sales expert. She has been a sales expert for over 30 years and is passionate about sales and really empowering people in that way. And I find whenever I talk with her about sales, there's like this joyfulness and a little bit of a spark that she has around it, and definitely in her gifting, her DNA, and she loves helping people around those sales conversations. She is a co-author of the best-selling book, Come Out of Hiding and Shine. We're so excited to have her in that book as we're making a big difference around the world, helping people come forward and be seen. She has over 20 years experience working with large corporations like Oracle and Sony and Schwab. And actually, she achieved the Gold Club for her level of success in her sales expertise. And I share that with you because now she's actually bringing all of that rich history of sales to helping those entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, people that are really wanting to be empowered in the conversation as they're offering their skills and their talents and their resources and their offerings and their products to the world. She wants to help them do that with great success. So please lean in and warmly welcome the amazing Leslie Ellis to the show. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Rebecca. I am so excited to be here.
Glad to have you. I hope you heard like a drum roll. Well, I love to start the conversation with the why question. So why are you so personally passionate about sales and helping people with them? Why does that work matter so much to you?
You know, I started going to networking events about 10 years ago, and I noticed that so many entrepreneurs really had trouble discussing their product or service, and just having sales conversations seemed to be such a difficulty for them. And I felt so badly, and I realized that, it doesn't have to be that way, and that a lot of the reason it is that way is because people have preconceived notions that just aren't true. And so I just love to help people to really be the best at what they can be, and by having more clients. And so in order to have more clients, you have to have really successful sales conversations. And so that's exactly, it just thrills me when I can make people comfortable with talking about their product or service, so that they can help more people. They can have more clients and help more people. Yeah. I
love that. Yes. Because that's what, in the end, what you're doing is you're helping people help more people and continue to bring what they're called to bring to the world, to be able to keep doing that. So really, really beautiful work. Thank you for sharing.
Sure.
Now, how do we, so let's say we know we have this great offering that we can bring to the world, great way that we can serve it. How do we unmask our own sales potential? How do we do that?
Well, it's really knowing how to talk about what you're offering in a way that makes it attractive to people, in a way that makes people, as you said in the very beginning, it makes people lean in. It makes them want to know more. It makes them ask questions. And so that gives you the ability, when they're leaning in and they're asking questions, to talk about how you can help them. And that's what, that's ultimately what you want to do, is you want to find out what are their issues, and are you the right person? Because you might not be, but you want to find out, are you the right person for them? And how you want to talk with them about how you can help them and make everything easier for them.
Beautiful. So it's really having that conversation, understanding their need, and then seeing if you're the one that can help them meet that, and having the conversation to find out and help them make that decision. I love that. Now, I'm going to be kind of candid here because, we know each other.
Yes, we do.
Relationship. And it's fourth quarter. And what I find sometimes is that as time goes on and we're getting close to the holidays, sometimes people feel like, well, I can't do anything now to make it different. It's, just going to be what it's going to be this year. The holidays are here. People aren't going to lean in and buy things, and I'll just try again next year. And I know you have a different belief and philosophy, and I do too, around that fourth quarter, the power there. Do you mind sharing how can we actually really achieve our goals even in the fourth quarter?
Well, first of all, I want to say that if you believe that fourth quarter is going to be very slow, then guess what? It'll be very slow. Because without even realizing, that's what you'll create. And I know for a fact that it doesn't have to be that way. I worked in an industry for a long time where people always talked about, December specifically, but just, fourth quarter in general, there's just no business. Well, guess what? I always had great fourth quarters because I didn't buy into that. So it's just knowing that you can create business from mostly between, I would say, Thanksgiving and the New Year, that there is a lot of business that does happen. Maybe it's not as busy as the rest of the year. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. But it doesn't have to be dead or even slow. It can be as busy as you want it to be. It's just, having a plan, having goals, and then acting. Taking action and making those things happen. And guess what? You'll have a great fourth quarter.
Yay! I love it. No, but that action part is so key. And I agree. That's been my experience as well. Fourth quarter actually ends up always being my strongest. And I still take time off and I still enjoy the holidays. But I find so many people are taking their foot off the pedal that people see me actually even more easily because I'm consistent. I'm continuing to offer the things I'm continuing to offer, and I'm continuing to follow up and reach out. I don't stop. And that always ends up bringing really great fourth quarter results and creates a beautiful momentum in January. So I'm glad to hear you share that and talk about that. And for those of you who are thinking, yes, I want to move forward in my goals and step into my success, guess what? You have the fourth quarter energy that can work powerfully for you. Beautiful. Now, I've heard you say, and this is in sometimes your expanded bio, you'll say that it's possible to sell with a system and purpose, instead of just kind of hoping it happens. Do you mind expanding just a little bit on that, what you mean by that, and why a system or plan is so key?
I find that a lot of entrepreneurs use what I call the hope and pray method. Well, gosh, I hope I find a new client. I hope my client pays me on time. I hope I have a great fourth quarter. But they don't actually have a plan to make that happen. And that's what the key is having a plan. And what that means is, because I actually had somebody ask me just last week, well, what do you mean by have a plan? Well, what I mean by that is know who you're going to call. Maybe you're going to call old clients to see how their year's been going. Whatever it might be, but just know what networking event you're going to go to if that's what you do. Are you going to be blogging every week? Are you going to be making phone calls to, current or past clients or prospects? Whatever it is that works for you, just have a plan. And I actually suggest writing it down. So at the beginning of every month, actually, know exactly what you're going to do and plan your month ahead of time. And you can do that for the quarter as well. And then, like you were saying earlier, don't forget to review it. You're right. Most people don't do that. And then, it's like I find a lot of my clients, I take a lot of notes when I'm talking with my clients, and it's like I'll say, well, did you call so-and-so? And they'll, oh, no, I forgot. Well, yeah, you got to write it down. Because we do forget, and we do have busy lives. And so just having a plan, have it written, and amazing things happen.
Beautiful. Thank you for those important reminders and the action, like the actual things we can do to not only make the fourth quarter powerful, but our whole year can be really powerful by applying these principles. And I know you've created an amazing and powerful gift. Do you mind sharing a little bit about that with our listeners?
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, so I actually have a report, and it's called The One Thing You Can Do Now to Immediately Make More Money. So as an entrepreneur or as a business, any business owner, there's any number of things that we could do to land more clients, and ultimately, landing more clients means, of course, making more money. But there's one thing in particular that you can do that will actually catapult your sales. And it's very, very powerful, and that's what the report is about.
Oh, I love that. A cliffhanger.
I'm not going to give it away.
So you have to lean in to find out.
Yes.
Beautiful. Well, we are going to our next 2-minute moment here that I invite you to think about some of what Leslie shared and really think about, do you have a plan for the fourth quarter, and what isn't? What are the actual steps that you're going to do, the action you're going to take to bring in the clients or bring in the business that you're wanting, and really just kind of think about that and sit with that and maybe map it out a little bit. So take these 2 minutes. And when we come back, I'm going to let you know how to access Amanda's gift and Leslie's gift. So make sure to stay tuned, and we'll talk to you in just a moment.
The Voice America Women's Channel.
Are you ready for your rush of success? I'm Jim T. Chong, the walk star.
And I'm Cammie Ferry, the theater queen, the host of Rush Hour for Success on Money 105.5 on Thursdays and Fridays at 2 p.m. It's about getting entertained and getting solutions for your success in life and business.
Visit us on Facebook at Money 105.5 FM Rush Hour for Success, or download the Money 105.5 app on your phone for the live stream. That's Thursdays and Fridays, 2 p.m. Pacific Time. Get entertained,
get educated, and get your rush on
Rush Hour for Success.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at SpeakerTalentSearch.com. That's SpeakerTalentSearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit EmpoweredConnectionsTV.com. That's EmpoweredConnectionsTV.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation. The Voice America Women's Channel.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-866-613-1612. That's 1-866-613-1612. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope that you enjoyed that 2-minute moment and really thought about your sales, and are you having those conversations? Did you have a plan? And looking back at Amanda's share and really looking at how are you defining success? And are you wanting some support in that? We have these generous gifts that our guest experts have shared with us. And here's our heartbeat in this and why we create access to these gifts. I want you to be able to have access to the experts like I do. I want you to be able to have tools and resources that you can tap into to support you on your journey so that this becomes a live, interactive, equipping, and empowering experience that we have together. And so we've created this library of tools and resources to equip and empower you on your journey. And you have the opportunity to take action on that. You have the opportunity to lean in and say yes to those things that are going to be of support to you. And here's where you can find these gifts. You go to Radio Gifts, and it's plural because there's multiple gifts.net, because it's a net full of gifts. RadioGifts.net. You type in your name and email address so we can stay in touch. And then you click down to today's date that we are live broadcasting the show, which is October 11th. You will see Leslie's lovely picture and Amanda's beautiful picture and their gifts. And you simply click on the gifts that are supportive and resonating to you. You put in your name and email address so they can send them to you and you can have that access. And actually, while you're there, you can peruse the entire library and lean into as many of the resources that will be of support to you in your journey. I want you to know that you're absolutely supported by us. We want to encourage, equip, and empower you to live your life on purpose and with purpose. That is why we make these resources available. So please make sure to lean into radiogifts.net and say yes to those things, those gifts, those tools that are going to support you on your journey. Beautiful. Behind the scenes, I asked both of our guest experts if they had anything else on their heart to share, a tip, an insight, something you could take action on now, and they both leaned in and warmly said yes. So I'm going to go around the virtual room here and have them each share their tip, idea, or insight that they wanted to bring forward and make sure that you knew as you go back out into the world. So Amanda, what did you have on your heart to share?
Well, this is not only a tip, it is a superpower, and it works
for
so many things. And this is the first thing that I really work to help my success mentoring clients to do, and that is to really cultivate a sense of curiosity. And mostly, because we can be curious about things in different ways, but curious with the agenda of what's the gift here, and how does it get better, and what's amazing about this. And if we can keep our minds open, then it really helps to counteract the subconscious patterns. It doesn't always win because the conscious mind only has 10% of control, but it's a really great start. So keeping a sense of curiosity when the crap hits the fan, to stay curious, like how can I make this into something better, or what's the gift here?
Beautiful. And pausing and listening to the answer as you're being curious. I love that. Asking that question and then really sitting in the curiosity and discovering the gift in it. Beautiful share. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
And how about you, Leslie? What did you have on your heart to share?
At this time of year when we're approaching the holidays, and sometimes just throughout the year, we tend to get very overwhelmed. And we, like Amanda was saying earlier, that, we just have so many things we have to do, we should do, we want to do. And so sometimes we don't know where to start. And what I tell my clients is it doesn't really matter where you start. Just pick one thing and do it. And then when you've got that finished, pick the next thing. And don't think about the list that's a mile long. Just pick something. And I like to tell people either pick the easiest thing because you'll get it done quickly and you'll have a sense of accomplishment, or pick the hardest thing because that's out of the way, so everything else now is downhill. And just don't make it as complicated as it seems like it might be. Just pick one thing and do it.
I love that. And I want you to feel how that lightens the energy. Just pick one thing. And don't overthink, which is the right thing. Just pick one thing. Maybe close the eyes, point the finger on the list, whatever. Pick one thing and do it. And then pick another thing and do it. That just has just a lighter energy, especially when you can hit that overwhelmed state. So beautiful show. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. And listeners, I want to thank you for joining us today to really leaning into a conversation about success. And I have found the shares by both of our guest experts just wonderful and enriching, and I hope you have experienced the same. And it's given you time to pause and think about how you're defining success, and are you including quality of life in that? Where are you in the sales side of things? Are you having those conversations? Do you have a plan? And are you wanting support? When we go in, we pause, we breathe, we listen, just like how we started the show. What was laid on your heart that you're needing support in? And are you willing? Are you willing to lean in and say yes to those things that can equip you, that can empower you, that can encourage you and support you as you're going back out into the world? I hope the answer is yes. I believe you have gifts and talents and abilities, and who you are is so needed in the world. In fact, what we need is more of you. The more dimensions of you that you're willing to share, the more of you that you're willing to bring forward enriches all of us and makes the world a better place. It's part of the reason we're so excited about this book that Leslie is part of as well, Come Out of Hiding and Shine, because we want to help people stop hiding, really be seen, and the shine part. And this is part of being a success and bringing, having those sales conversations. When people are in their pain, when they're hurting, when they're struggling, when it's an area that's difficult or the overwhelm's closing in, it's like this big, thick pea soup that they can't see through. And even if you're extending your hand, they can't see it through the fog. What they need is a beacon of light. They need to see the lantern. They need to see the light that lights the path, that shows here's a way. And then they can see your hand outstretched. Then they can see, I'm not alone. I can take these steps. And each of us, whatever walk we have in life, can be a beacon for someone else. And I want to encourage you to be willing to be seen, to be willing to lean into your formula for success, to be willing to take the actions so that you can impact the world in the way that you're called. And really being seen in it so people can see how you can help them. This is how we make the world a better place. It's heart by heart. It's life by life. So what I encourage you to do is you go forth and you go out into the world, that wherever you go, whatever you do, make choices that help you live on purpose and with purpose, so that you can bloom where you are planted and shine powerfully out into the world. Thank you so much for joining us this week, and I look forward to talking to you next week. Take care, everybody.
Thank you for joining us this week for Empowering Women, Transforming Lives. Please tune in again for another edition with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter, next Tuesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 11 a.m. Pacific, on the Voice America Women's Channel. And join us for a replay of the show every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, 2 p.m. Pacific, on the Voice America Empowerment Channel. Have a beautiful week, and may you always bloom where you're planted and shine.